Hello my lovelies, welcome back. I hope you are all doing well. For this week's Vinyasa Flow class, we are doing a morning Vinyasa to kickstart your day. So it's going to be a fun practice, an energizing practice, one that is going to get you out of your head, into your body, move some energy around, and just get your day started in the best possible way. So grab your mat and we will get to it. Okay, my lovelies, we're going to begin our flow at the end of the mat in our child's pose. So just let your hips sink down to the heels. Let your arms reach out in front, forehead resting. And I just want you to take some deep rounds of the breath, letting go and relaxing into this pose. Big deep inhale, the belly expands. Big long exhale as the navel draws back towards the spine. And check in, take this time before you begin your day to direct all of your awareness inwards and notice how your body feels, not judging it in any way, just being aware. Notice what's going on in the mind. Not judging, just observing. And bring all of your awareness to the breath. With our awareness on the breath, we find the peace of the present moment. You bring your energy back from the future, back from the past where you may have been directing it. And you allow it to come back into the body, filling you all the way up to the top, like recharging a battery. So set an intention for this morning practice to keep your awareness on the breath, to stay in the peace of the present moment. Allow your next inhale to bring you into tabletop. And your next exhale to take you straight back into your downward facing dog. So we want to spend a little bit of time in this down dog. Just moving into the body, bending into the knees, lifting the heels one at a time. Exploring, noticing where the tightness might be. Send your awareness to those spaces in the body and just visualize the breath flowing towards them, easing and lengthening the body and the muscles. And finding stillness in your downward facing dog. Send the gaze towards the hands. Step the right foot between the hands and just lower all the way down to the left knee. Press the palms together as you inhale, lift up and out of the hip crease and reach the palms up towards the sky. We're going to take a little twist here. So we stay lifted, we move from the core. Exhale, twist open towards the right side and let your gaze look back towards your right thumb. Breathing into the hips. Inhale, palms come back and overhead. Exhale, twist to the left, twisting again from the core. Gaze looks back towards the left thumb. Inhale, palms back together overhead. Exhale, hands come down, frame the right foot, and exhale, slowly draw back. So we're just warming up into the hips and we're warming up into the hamstrings. So in our half splits, find a little more length through the spine as you inhale, chest opens. Exhale to fold. Just take 3 rounds of the breath here. Keep drawing the right toes in towards you. And slowly bend into the right knee. Back toes tuck underneath if they're not already. Knee lifts. Step back to high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Moving from the right side to the left side. Gaze between the hands. Step the left foot forwards. Lower down to the right knee. Palms together, inhale to lift. Exhale to twist to the left, looking back towards the left thumb. Inhale to center. And exhale, twist to the right, looking back towards the right thumb. Inhale to center. Exhale, hands come down. Exhale, half splits. So hips stay nice and square. Pull the left toes towards you. Inhale, create a little more length through the spine, open the chest. And exhale to fold. 3 rounds of the breath. Bending into the front knee. Back toes tuck underneath, knee lifts. Step back to high plank. Exhale, chaturanga, pausing at the bottom. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, send the gaze back towards the hands. Right foot steps forward again. This time the back knee stays lifted. As you press the palms together, inhale, high lunge. Exhale. Exhale, twist towards the right side, look back towards that right thumb. Try and open as much of the chest towards the side as you can. Inhale, palms back together. And exhale, twisting to the left, but keeping your hips facing forwards. Inhale, back. Exhale, hands come down, slowly lower the left knee. Exhale, half splits. This time, we're going to open up towards the right leg. So left hand stays down in line with the right foot. Keep the right hip down in line with the left hip, so we don't want it to start lifting. We're going to peel open the chest, stack the shoulders, and look up towards the right thumb. Keep drawing the right toes in towards you. And keep that left hip drawing down. So a fun little variation. Exhale, slowly lower down, bending into the front knee, back knee lifts. Step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Switching to the left side, look between the hands. Step the left foot forwards. Back knee lifted, palms together, inhale, high lunge. Exhale, twist to the left, moving from the core. Hips stay nice and still, facing forwards. Test your balance by looking back towards the left thumb. Inhale, palms together. And exhale, twisting towards the right, looking back towards the right thumb. Inhale, palms together. And exhale to lower the hands down, back knee lowers. Exhale, half splits. This time, opening up towards the left leg. Right hand stays down, hips stay square. And we start to stack and open the chest, reaching the left fingertips towards the ceiling, letting the gaze follow. Left hip stays drawing down in line with the right. Exhale, lower the left hand down, bend into the front knee. Back toes tuck underneath, knee lifts. Step back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Just stay for 3 rounds of the breath in your down dog. See if the stretching of the hamstrings has made this down dog feel any easier. Maybe the heels are a little closer towards the mat. And then slowly send the gaze towards the hands and just start to walk the feet forward. So our challenge is to keep the hands flat on the mat as you walk the feet between the hands. Obviously you can lift your fingertips, you can lift your hands off the mat, and you can bend the knees. Release, so bring the hands to the elbows, let the crown of the head drop. Keep a soft bend in the knees. And just start to bring in a little rock from side to side, releasing the body in our ragdoll. And slowly let the arms hang down. Let your inhale roll you up to standing, stacking the vertebrae one at a time on top of each other. Letting the head lift last, and you pause if you go a little dizzy. Take in a deep inhale, let the oxygen come back to the brain, or the blood come back to the brain. And I'm going to turn sideways on to face you. You might want to turn sideways on your mat, or if you have space, you can stay lengthways. So from this position, we're going to keep the feet hips distance apart, core is strong, and tailbone is tucked underneath. Inhale, bring your palms together over the head and find Kali Mudra with the hands. So we interlace the fingers together and we point the two index fingers up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen through the arms and through the fingertips. Keep the core tensed. As you exhale, leaning in towards the right side. Not overstretching. Keeping the core strong and keeping you lifted. Just feel a stretch coming all the way through the left side of the body. Just going as far as your body feels comfortable. Use the strength of your core to bring you back to center. And exhale takes you to the left. So keep that core switched on. Only go as far as you feel comfortable. So you can take this into a deep side bend, but listen to your body. And keep reaching through the fingertips. Inhale back to center. And exhale, hands to the heart center. Okay, we're gonna play around with a little bit of balance. So taking it into our tree pose. Interlace the fingers together. Catch the front of the right knee in the hands. Find your drishti on the floor, your point of focus. And then opening the left arm out to the side, open the right knee out to the side. So it's this openness through the hips we want to keep in our tree pose. See if you can slide your right hand to your right ankle and draw the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Your option is to bring it to the calf or rest the toes down. Hands coming to the heart center. Keep that right knee actively pressing back behind you. So I want you to just stay here and breathe. You can play around with lifting the arms on an inhale, shoulders away from the ears. Or if you're feeling adventurous this morning, now that we've lengthened our hamstrings, peace fingers are going to hook around the right big toe. You're going to start to extend that right leg out to the side. And the leg doesn't have to be straight. You can have a little bend in it, but we want to avoid this tipping motion. We want to try and keep a straight line from the crown of the head down to the heel. Keep breathing. It's going to make that standing leg work hard. Shoulder blades and shoulders pulling down away from the ears. And see if you can bring that foot back into your tree pose. Hands at the heart center. And gently release. You might just want to shake out the left foot. And we're switching sides. So grip through the right toes. Interlace the fingers, catch the left knee. Find your drishti, find your point of focus on this side. Left hand holds the left knee, right arm to the side as we start to open it. Finding that openness through the hips. Sliding the left hand down to find the left ankle. and drawing the sole of the foot to the inside of the right thigh or calf, or the toes rest. Hands to the heart center. And you can stay here. Let the arms lift on an inhale, shoulders drop down. Or we play around. Left peace fingers round the left big toe. Use that right arm for balance as you extend the left leg. Trying to keep the center line of the body straight. Keep the breath flowing, feel rooted through that standing leg. If you wobble in, just wobble, if you wobble out, wobble back in. And then see if you can bring that left foot back in. Hands to the heart center. And then gently releasing. Good, give the legs a little wiggle out. We're going to slowly widen the feet so that your toes are slightly turned in and the heels are slightly turned out. Big inhale, bring the palms together over the head. Big exhale, circle the arms round and let the hands catch the outsides of the legs. If you can, down towards the ankles and the backs of the heels. Inhale, halfway lengthen the spine and open up the chest. Keep this length through the spine as you bend into the elbows and exhale to fold. Weight into the fronts of the feet. Tailbone tilting up towards the ceiling, the strength of the arms drawing you down. Just find a few rounds of the breath here. And if you're feeling very energetic this morning, maybe you bring your forearms down or your hands down to find your headstand. This is all optional, otherwise you just enjoy your fold. So we want to be light when we come into our headstand. Floating up on that inhale. Play around with any variations, or you keep breathing in your fold. And the challenge from your headstand, it's to come out the same way that you came up. So landing back in your straddle. And then maybe just pause if you've come out of your headstand. Stay in your fold just for a couple of breaths. Take some deep rounds of the breath. And then slowly bring the hands down. Start to heel toe the feet in. You might have to heel toe them in twice depending how far out your feet were. Your heels want to be just a little wider than the hips, toes turned out. We sit the hips back and down and bring the hands to the heart center. I think my face might be beetroot from doing my headstand. I will let the blood drain down. So bring the hands to the heart. Gently pressing the elbows out to the side to open up the inner hips. Chest drawing towards the thumbs. So again, you can either stay here or we're going to make things just a little bit more challenging to really energize the body. We're going to lift the heels off the mat on an inhale. So as you lift your heels off the mat, quite often the body wants to tip forwards. So we're going to keep the tailbone dropping down and the chest lifting towards the thumbs. And I'm going to give you an option to find your crow pose. If that's in your practice, you can bring the hands down, shift your weight onto the elbows, lift the feet off the mat. Or you stay in your little toe balance yogi squat. Keep working to drop the hips down and lift the chest. Maybe even play around with closing the eyes. It's definitely a challenge. And whenever you've had enough, we're just going to slowly come down to seated. If you can, you just sit back and draw the legs in front. I know that's easier said than done. So from here, we're going to bring the feet together, knees are open to the side. Peace fingers again are going to wrap around the big toes. We're going to play with a little bit of a balance. We're really doing everything in this class. We're going to shift our weight onto our sitting bones and see if you can lift your feet off the mat. I promise you I'm not leaning against the wall. So our challenge is to open up the legs. This is called balancing bear. So slowly start to extend, find your point of focus, find your drishti. It's like a seated straddle, and often the spine rounds, the shoulders pull up towards the ears so that you can find more sort of balance because you've got two opposing weights. But we want to draw the chest forward, shoulder blades down the back. If you wobble in, why do I keep saying that? If you wobble out, you wobble back in. And keep the breath flowing. If you want to make things a little harder, you're going to leave your right leg where it is, and you're going to bring your right arm in line with your right ear, switching on the core and that right hip flexor for 3, 2, 1. See if you can catch that right big toe. We leave the left leg where it is, and we bring the left arm in line with the left ear. We hold for 3, 2, 1, and we catch it. Last thing we're gonna do, leave both legs where they are, both arms come in line with the ears. Staying here, reaching up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and catch both big toes again. Slowly draw the insides of the feet together. And breathe. Finding a nice rest in our butterfly. So depending on where the legs are in your butterfly, you might have to have your hands on the shins and just gently guide the knees as you exhale. Or you can interlace the fingers around the feet. Inhale, lengthen the spine, open the chest, and hinge from the hips. As you exhale to fold, we're going to stay here for 5 rounds of the breath. Maybe deepening that stretch just for our last little count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly drawing up on an inhale. Let your legs gently cross together. Let the hands come to the heart center. And just like you did at the beginning of the practice, check in and notice how the body feels. Hopefully a little more loosened off, a little more flexible, a little more awake, alive, energetic. And notice how the mind is feeling or what's going on in the mind. Hopefully the thoughts are a little more centered in the present moment. You're a little more aware. Hopefully connected to the breath. And just keep this with you as you head into your day with a little more presence, a little more awareness, and a little more peace. Thank yourself for taking this time out, and bow the head to the heart. Namaste.